Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Paul and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggaeboyz who take the lead.
Greetings, football lovers. Bless up. Happy Sunday to the family. Welcome to Ballchat. Weekend recap, football weekend recap. My name is Benton, along with the family. Glory, glory, Man United. Engineer, me just sing that song for you to be happy. Engineer Wagwan, aka Junior, aka George, aka Engineer number 2, 1, and 3. How you doing, family?
You see the ball behind me? General.
Big up to Eric Ten Hag. And big up to the Manchester United fans. Manchester United victorious, their first trophy in what 5 years since 2017. So Ikana is not very dark anymore.
No, sir.
So how was your week, family? How you doing?
Well, I'm good enough. The whole heap of traveling, so up and down. I saw the games. I get to watch what I can, and it's been a good football weekend for me personally. But after that, it's been more of the same.
And more of the same. Big up. Cameron is out the road on vacation. Big up, Cameron. Go and chat safely out the road. And thankfully, we don't have to hear about Chelsea discussions about Cameron's idea. Football family, welcome to Ball Chat. As we know how we do it, we recap the week that was in the world of football, touch some of the major news. We're going to discuss the Carabao Cup final as Manchester United, of course, victorious over Newcastle. Newcastle's wait for a trophy. It's been, last trophy for Newcastle was 1969. So they might have a while for wait. We'll also take a look at the week that was in Champions League. We'll take a look at the FIFA Women's World Cup. Groups are all set as Haiti, Panama, big up yourself, and Portugal book their place to the FIFA Women's World Cup. We'll also discuss some issues or take a look at some news coming out of the French women's team as Captain Wendy Renard will be absent from the World Cup. She says to protect her mental health, she's stepping away. We'll discuss yard ballers, discuss MLS weekend that was, and some other major news. But we're kicking it off with ballers and bugs. Ballers been the impressive players of the week. If you have ballers, send them on. And why? Engineer, who do you have as your ballers, family? Send them on.
Why it have to be the whole Manchester United for finally getting a trophy. Just get a trophy, right? Also, we have to give to Erling Haaland getting himself back on the score sheet, even though it was a little lucky bucket ball still, the first one. So whatever. Still happy for him. Also got to give it to Arsenal for righting their ship. So much could have gone wrong after Man City, and the man them somehow come back and find them way, right? Also, hate that. We're not getting about it.
Big up to the family. Big up Kofi Paul. Big up yourself. We see your family. Send on your ballers and bugs. Kofi giving Manchester United a baller for winning the Mickey Mouse Trophy. Big up. We'll get to Liverpool later on. Because we have some discussion, some thoughts to share regarding this Liverpool Real Madrid game in the middle of the week and the Liverpool week in totality. So Kofi Powell, line up yourself later on. Want to hear some thoughts from the Liverpool fans. Football family win ballers and bugs. If you have ballers, send them on. If you have bugs, send them on. Ballers of the week for me, have a few. Michel Domine of Haiti. Yo, this young lady is an absolute baller. Generational talent. Is not over the top when it comes to her. Right. I mean, she is a generational talent. 2 goals for Haiti in the elimination final matchup against Chile. Exceptional baller. This weekend, this June, she will join Lyon. Or July, she will join Lyon. So we'll see her in Champions League. Exceptional baller. So she gets a ball of the week. Domine. Bailey and Natis for Panama. Goalkeeper Yannette Bailey. She conceded a few penalties against the Reggae Girls 4 years ago. And this year, she made sure that nothing don't go in. So, Yannette Bailey and Natis made sure that Panama is on the plane to FIFA World Cup 2023, Australia, New Zealand. So, ball of the week to goalkeeper Bailey. Ball of the week to Bunny Shaw. 4 goals, 3 plus 1. What do you call that? Quadric. 4 goals for Man City as Man City beat the brakes off, I think, Bristol City 8-1. So big up Bunny Shaw. I think that's 21 goals this year for Bunny Shaw already. Boy, we are talking about Erling Haaland, but we have to pay attention to Bunny Shaw. Scoring goals for fun. Ball of the week to the one and only Thiago Almeida. Atlanta United's own. Argentina born. Big up yourself. Atlanta United is back in business. Thiago Almeida scored 2 goals and made sure that Atlanta United fans didn't have a miserable MLS weekend. 2 wonder goals. So big up. So Thiago Almeida, Michel Domene, Bunny Shaw, Bailey, Natis for Panama. Those are my ballers of the week, family. Bugs of the week. Reggie, big up. Reggie, big up yourself. Reggie says Haitian women's national team for making it to the World Cup. Yeah, the Mornay is a baller, Reggie. She is a generational baller, absolute baller. Sometimes I wonder, hey, yo, I don't want to play her because she would done me. BM says baller of the week is my team, Man United, for winning the League Cup. Boy, Man United fans, them glad. Junior, Bugs of the week, family, what do you have?
All right, it's too easy to call Potter there, right? It's too easy to call Chelsea. It's too easy to call Liverpool for the debacle against Real Madrid and then to follow it up with a 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace. It's too easy, right? But we are call it same way. Chelsea and Liverpool. Listen, I don't know. And I don't want to give Neymar bug of the week because
Why?
the bad ankle
Why
hurt.
are you giving him bug of the week?
Because the bad ankle hurt. But I watch Brazil Carnival. I look for the timing every year this brother injured. Yeah, I give him a later bug of the week, yeah, man, because I feel like Neymar put the ankle in some bad position every year around this time to get hurt.
No, we're not going to tolerate. Big up to the fancy baller, Neymar.
Yeah, big up to the fancy baller, Neymar. But John was star. But yeah, Liverpool, definitely have to give it to Liverpool. Definitely have to give it to Chelsea. All right, that. But I cost somebody else. But does that cost Liverpool and Chelsea later?
And we'll get to Liverpool and Chelsea in our football roundup. Bugs of the week, family. Big up. BM says, tell Bunny to take her scoring boots to the World Cup and don't bother with the foolishness. Yes, we'll send on the message, family. We'll send. Bunny Shaw, watch Ballchat. Big up yourself. You hear the people them say, yo, make sure so you score some goals like Australia, New Zealand. Big up yourself, you know. Reggie said, Bugs of the week, Liverpool, Chelsea, and FC Barcelona. Barcelona was defeated by Manchester United and Almeria in the same week. Why? The corner dark. Run a certain club corner, New Camp. Big up yourself. Bugs of the week for me. And this is a serious matter. Serious matter in the sense that Graham Potter, yes, he's out of his depth. He's not good enough to do the job currently. Robbie Mustoe said he's not contributing anything to the group. Robbie Mustoe of NBC Sports said that in the post-game analysis that he's not contributing anything to the group. The coach, that is, Graham Potter. But regardless of how bad Graham Potter is, it doesn't need for people or some fans to threaten this individual and his family. Them think they've gone too far. That is unnecessary. Those fans get the bug of the week from me. Bug of the week. And not just the intimidation and tactics going on in football. Sampdoria at Chelsea. Sampdoria. Fans. A pig's head was sent to the Sampdoria's head office. Directed to former President Mr. Ferreira and Vice President Romeo. A severed pig's head. Sampdoria sitting in the 19th position in the Scudetto. A severed pig's head was sent to to the office addressed to these individuals, and with the caption quote, "Your heads will be next, or you will be next." What kind of intimidation, party shop foolishness there? Both teams are bad. Both groups are bad. Graham Potter is bad at Chelsea, but it doesn't mean that he needs to get threatened and his family needs to get threatened. Sampdoria's official and Sampdoria is bad, but it doesn't mean that we need to have mafia-style intimidation going around a corner at Sampdoria. So, fans, cut it out. Don't bother with the foolishness. I know some man might bet money on the game and not losing the money, but don't bother with the foolishness. Them look at intimidation tactics are going on. Sampdoria will play Lazio tomorrow. So those are my bugs of the week. Any fans that is threatening, are sending threats to head office personnel, whether it's vice president or former president at Sampdoria, pig's head, cut off pig's head and send it to the office. Bug of the week. Threat to Graham Potter from some Chelsea fans. Bug of the week. That not necessary. Junior, any other ballers and bugs before we get to our football roundup? Because we don't say you want to celebrate your team's victory.
No, I really celebrate my team victory that much, but no, I ain't that. But I don't know. I want to echo the Barcelona one, and the biggest mystery to me about Barcelona is Ansu Fati. What is really going on with Ansu Fati at Barcelona and Xavi? So Xavi get an honorary bug of the week for me to hour.
And we'll talk about that when we look at the Europa League draw, Barcelona. We can talk about Ansu Fati, but it's a mystery. I mean, he has a long contract with them. I don't know. I know there's been injury issues with him, but the youth is one of the most talented players you have, and he's also quite effective when he gets minutes on the field. He does things. So but I don't know. Xavi's the man at the wheel, so we'll see. Not speaking of bug sides, let's focus on winners for the moment. Manchester United beat Barcelona and, of course, followed up that victory with an EFL Cup title. First cup in, 5 years. No. It was Jose Mourinho was the last manager to win a trophy. I mean, Ten Hag, different style. Your thoughts, family?
I mean, real quick, I think if this cup was played before the World Cup, if this final was played before the World Cup, we would have gotten a better game. I think Newcastle has regressed since the World Cup, and especially when the keeper stupidly got the red card the last game. I think the tie was done. I think this is one of the most mundane, one of the most undramatic finals ever. There was no doubt about it. Newcastle under Karius in a cup final with Karius in goal, and with the way how Newcastle playing now with their form. I'm not taking nothing from Man U, but this is a definition of a chimney cup, and no matter them win it, we move on.
So I mean, if you all were concerned about Karius and Newcastle, why didn't you all just release Dub Drogba from the cup tie deal with Manchester United and just let him play, so we can have a competitive match?
Because then you're setting a bad precedent. So we're not setting a precedent. Rules are rules. But honestly though, I don't think anybody. I think even the Manchester United haters were sitting down and saying, "Yo, we just hope the lightning strike out like the stadium light them and thing, and the match just abandoned." That's the only way I will stop Man U from winning that game. There was no doubt about it in my mind. It speaks something though that them go out there and took care of business, right? And did it so efficiently. But yeah, no threat.
Yeah, Ten Hag said at the post-match press conference, he spoke to the press for about 12 minutes, and then he took the trophy to the press conference, and then he left the trophy, and the press had to call him back and to remind him to pick up the trophy. He said at the press conference, quote, "It started off restoring Manchester United. This is the first one." Confident coach, he believes that this is something that they're building on. But Junior, I hate to play devil's advocate, but I will. I mean, you guys have won trophies before under the last guy to do it with Jose Mourinho. What is different about this time?
What is different now is that Jose Mourinho used smoke and mirrors. I got the trophy, right? He didn't buy the trophy, but when Jose Mourinho had the trophy, you had Pogba, that was a cancer, and he didn't play the final. You had Zlatan Ibrahimovic that was injured as well, and I think that never played the final. But you had an older team. Right now, you have a younger team trending up in the right direction. There's no when Man U lifted the Europa Trophy under Jose, the thought was, okay, who's going to replace Zlatan? Will Pogba be back? Blah, 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 blah. Right now, with this EFL title, it is, what can this squad do next? What is needed to strengthen this squad, right? So it's a different feeling. Plus, remember, after the Barcelona game, Ten Hag came out and gave the ultimate vote of confidence and said, we can beat anybody. So that alone, Newcastle was just a foregone conclusion, right? So it's a different vibe. It's a different energy around the team right now.
Before we take a look at Newcastle and where they go from here, Marcus Rashford, 25 goals in 38 appearances thus far this season for Manchester United. I mean, what is going on? I mean, where was this Marcus Rashford, and what exactly is going on with him? He's just on fire.
I think he's in a contract here, right?
Okay.
Or did he get the extension already? I think he got the extension, right? So I mean,
is either they're working on it, but I'm not.
They're
sure
working on it. So I mean, that has something to do with it. And for all the young footballers out there, and come on, always say it, a happy footballer is a great footballer. Or something, I don't want misquote, come on, but something along those lines. The reason why Rashford is playing so well, Rashford is enjoying football. And if you enjoy football and you treat football well, football will treat you well in return, because the goal he scored today was a very lucky goal, a buck-up goal, right? But the man has earned that look, and that is kind of how he has been playing this year. His confidence is back, but it's not the first time we hear a coach say, we're going to bring the best out of Rashford, but the system that he's playing in is also beneficial to him.
Okay. And taking a look at the Newcastle side of things, Kieran Trippier says we should be proud. Eddie Howe went into a little bit more deeper analysis. It's just your thoughts on Newcastle performance in this game.
I think they are a year early, challenging for the EFL Cup. I think next year they are legitimate FA Cup contenders, assuming that the owners continue to invest in the team and continue to commit to making the team better. I'm hoping, from Newcastle perspective, if it's one thing they should know right now is that you have the coach. You do have a coach that can perform. You have a team that can perform in spurts, but the team is not deep enough to where if you have a dip in form in a player, you can draw on somebody else. They're not that deep of a team. That's the reason why they're in a rut right now in their recent run of games. So they're not that far off. I think they are overachieving slightly right now, and the future is good, assuming that the owners continue investment in the future. That's the key.
Yeah. Big up, good luck to Newcastle as they tread forward. Big up to Eric Neil of the Two Rash Challenges podcast. Big Newcastle fan. I'm quiet right now, but didn't really expect much going on. All right, moving away from the EFL Cup, and congrats to Manchester United on picking up that trophy. Let's step to EPL scores and EPL roundup. Junior, the big game in this weekend's EPL action was that White Hart Lane, or whatever lane they want to call it. Spurs defeated Chelsea. Hey, every team should want to play this version of Chelsea right now. Southampton defeated them last week. Leeds should want to play them because they're in a relegation fight. Every team in the bottom half of the table should want to play Chelsea right now. Your thoughts on this game, this defeat for for Chelsea? What, 6 defeat in our competition, the first time in 10 years. 6 defeats in our competition, 6 consecutive defeats in our competition, first time in 10 years. Junior, your thoughts?
You said that, why am I drawing a blank? The analyst that said that Graham Potter is not,
Robbie Mustoe
Robbie Mustoe from
NBC Sports.
2 Robbies.
2 Robbies, yeah.
We got Robbie Mustoe. We'll soon talk about the Liverpool game, right? But when you watch that Liverpool game and look at how Liverpool started, for all those who don't understand what Robbie Mustoe mean by the coach did not offer anything, because at the end of the day, it's 11 versus 11. It's not 12 versus 12. The coach can only deploy the players them and say, do this, do that, do that, do that, and this is our tactic. And then you depend on your talent and chemistry to get you over the top. Where coaches make a change or where coaches affect a game is in the start of the game, right after halftime, and the last 5 minutes. That's where coaches really earn their money. Is your team ready to play on the opening whistle? Is your team ready to go out there with the adjustments after halftime? And is your team ready to is your team conditioned mentally and physically to finish the game? Robbie Mustoe is basically saying Chelsea is going out and looking the same way every game. That means that you remove the coach out of the equation and just say these are just the players going and doing them thing. And I draw to the Liverpool. Look at the Liverpool Real Madrid start. That was all clap in the first 10 minutes of the game. And then after that, I'm depending on the players to finish the game, and the players couldn't do it, right? So that is, in a nutshell, is what happened today with Chelsea. We can't... Potter has put himself in a position where you cannot blame players, you cannot blame formation, you cannot blame substitution, you cannot blame this personal changes. You can't do anything like that because in God, bring in a player and instantly start the player. So you have no idea, you have no stats, you have no data set to say, maybe this player can do this with that player. There's nothing out there other than Potter have theme player them that him trust and him don't trust Chelsea player. And that's the only thing. So the only common denominator right now is Potter. And for some reason, and once they committed to him, I don't know. But I think this game says more about the ineptitude of Chelsea rather than Tottenham being prepared to beat Chelsea in a London rivalry, to me.
Yeah, it's been, I think, Tottenham... Last time Tottenham defeated Chelsea was, 4 years ago? So Chelsea have a pretty good record against them. Now, being the big game in the EPL this weekend, it didn't live up to the expectations. We'll take a look at the other results from this weekend's EPL's action. But looking at this game in a little bit more detail, João Felix and Graham Potter aside, we accept that Graham Potter, I agree wholeheartedly with Robbie Mustoe that Graham Potter is not contributing anything to the group. They have a talented group, and right now the group is on the field just doing what they can. But they need direction, they need guidance. And what is abundantly clear is that Potter seems to be more focused on pass. There's a lot of passing that's going on. Chelsea will dominate in passes. They will get into the close to the box and they pass the ball back and then nullify the attack. But I want to talk about João Felix for a few minutes or a minute or so. Mm-hmm. I actually saw things in João Felix today and these last few games why I think that João Felix has struggled to really elevate to the expectations, the great expectation that has been put out there before. He's a baller. He's a talented player. There's no question about it. But the things that he's supposed to do on the other side of the ball is not there. And this is why Cholo probably had a problem with him. That goal that Skip scored, Joao Felix was right beside Skip. He didn't put in any sort of real man challenge. It was more something DNT. Well, you know, I'm not going to use that. He didn't put in a forceful challenge, you know, and subsequently Skip took a shot and scored. And I'm not saying that he wouldn't score, but the effort was not there from Joao Felix. There were a few passes in the final third where Joao Felix went out to lunch again with the passes. And for a player of this talent, is this expectation like, yo, Joao Felix, get it together, brother. You're supposed to be a baller now. Don't bother with the pitney foolishness anymore. Your thoughts on Joao Felix, or is just because everything is so bad at Chelsea, like it's hard to really see stars stand out?
No, it's a real simple answer. If Joao Felix was that type, he would have never been sent on loan. If Joao Felix was producing at his optimum level or close, he would have still been at Atletico Madrid. Cholo would have re-signed probably another 5-year contract. So there's a reason why he went out on loan. There's a reason why such a young footballer and an aging Spanish La Liga side that they were building around was sent on loan. There's a reason why, and we see why. Is it fair? Maybe not. I think the shadow of not only Cristiano Ronaldo, but I think the shadow of Luis Figo, Cristiano Ronaldo et al. Is what is casting a broad net around Joao Felix, where chances are maybe he is just not that type of player. We see the potential. We see where you say, boy, if this youth had X mind, it would have been this, right? But when are we going to transition away from saying the young footballer to just this is what he is as a football player?
Yeah. Good luck to Joao Felix as he tried to make that next step. Because Chelsea fans and Graham Potter are looking to him. Junior, before we move away and look at this result, N'Golo Kante returned to training recently. There's this expectation that he will play in the next few games. Does N'Golo Kante save Graham Potter here, being rolling back into this team? Or get some wins for Chelsea?
I think N'Golo Kante is going to be a surplus player, because if Graham Potter is erring on the side of possession football, right? We're going to maintain 70%. We're going to pass you to death. Then N'Golo Kante is not the type of player that you would really want, because you are already controlling the game, right? So you're not playing in a 4-3-3 set. You're not playing high pressing. You're not trying to have a horse race out there. So the question about Kante is, I don't see Kante really changing the fortunes of Chelsea. I can even argue and see where he might slow down Enzo. I can. All right, if you have Enzo, why you need Kante right now?
Well, the essential reason you need one of the biggest things, and I don't know how well Kante will be, but I will think that at 80% Kante elevates the work rate in that midfield. The ability to break up play at different points in the opponent's half and restart things. And it gives more protection to the Thiago Silva. Now, Thiago Silva seems to pick up a knock, and he was sub, but it also gives a better protection to the center halves that you have. Enzo, yes, big money transfer, but he's not N'Golo Kante. He doesn't have those sort of work rate, kill. And again, I don't know what to expect from this N'Golo Kante, knowing that he has much miles on his legs. He's been injured. But if Chelsea fans can get N'Golo Kante at 80 or 90%, I think that's a win, because Loftus-Cheek, Enzo, those players at the base of that midfield will not do the sort of work to recover and break up the opponent's play as N'Golo Kante has known to do in the past. So that's the only thing there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get you. I just see one of them going to be a surplus,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
you're not going to put your newly minted Chelsea player up on the bench, and you're not going to play with two holding midfielders.
Yeah.
So, dog and them somebody's up.
And Chelsea's working on N'Golo Kante's contract. It will expire in the summer. So watch the space. So we'll see. Taking a look at other results. Arsenal group leaders won over Leicester City 1-0. You know what stood out in this game, other than, hopefully Gab Martinelli is okay. Trossard scored a very good goal before it was chopped off. Jorginho sitting and passing and pulling it between the lines to the wingers of Arsenal is something to behold. Pushing it into space and telling back Saka, go get it. Where was that Jorginho at Chelsea? But our Jorginho just fits perfectly into this Arsenal system.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Jorginho will fit perfectly in the Chelsea current system of 1 million passes.
Yeah, because
that's the funny part to me.
The wingers.
So Jorginho just played for Chelsea at a wrong time. He played when they were thinking about pairing a possession midfielder with Kante, right? I mean, however that works. But here at Arsenal, he's not worried that much about chasing the game because they are used to maintaining the pace of the game. So that just shows what happens when you put a player in a situation that he is optimal to do his best. It's all like common sense, but a lot of people don't use it.
Yeah. Big up to Arsenal. Arsenal continues to lead the EPL. Aston Villa defeated Everton 2-0. West Ham roughed up Nottingham Forest 4-0. Much needed victory for David Moyes. Man City, Junior, Butterbrews, Bournemouth. Your baller scored, but I mean, it was only Bournemouth.
It's only Bournemouth, but guess what? Liverpool, you soon talk about the next game. It should have been only Crystal Palace.
Liverpool 0-0 with Crystal Palace. A rough week for Liverpool. Junior, I don't know what to make of Liverpool. Well, not I don't know what to make of Liverpool. Liverpool is just not good enough. They're not good enough. Just this is what it is. I think Klopp said after one of these matches, whether it was this game or the game against Real Madrid, which we'll talk about in a little bit. He says, yes, obviously we have to do something different in the summer. We have to make some changes.
Yeah, but you're like 4 transfer windows too late. This should have been a revelation while you were winning. This should have been a revelation when you do your postseason recap. And you say, last year we won the Champions League. This year we don't win the Champions League. Last year we able to beat up City. This year we can't really control the game versus City. What is wrong? What should we do next? How do we affect this change? There was none of that thought process that happened. You just said, let me just ride this thing until the wheels fall off. Now the wheels fall off. You're going to try hurry up now and patch it, put it back together and get up back and ride again instead of just doing proper maintenance. To me, it's just poor business decision. That's all Liverpool come down to. Poor business decisions.
Yeah, and I mean, Klopp is notorious for keeping loyalty to some of those players. After a while,
right,
you just have to let us up, man. Wolves and Fulham drew 1-1. We'll take a look at the table. BM wanted to know our thoughts on Leon Bailey so far this season. I think he was doing fine, BM. I think he was doing fine. I think Unai Emery definitely was getting him to play at the next level, meaning that his game was improved and he was contributing heavily. Recently, he kind of hit a little rough patch, but I mean, footballers will go through stuff like that. I think if he continues to excel in this system, and this Unai Emery system will be something that's beneficial for him, I think he'll be fine.
Yes, I agree 100%. I don't think he's having a bad season by any stretch of the imagination. I don't particularly think that he's having a great season, but he's having an encouraging season. And I think the graph is trending up for him. He just needs to maintain the work ethic. Go to the gym. Do what you need to do physically to stay sharp. And then mentally you work on that at home. And then everything else will take care of itself. I think Bailey is, in essence, showing a whole country how to be professional in football or how to be professional in sports. It's a lot of burden on him. So we'll see. But I do think he's having a great season.
Yeah, and he was subbed off yesterday in the 61st minute for Alex Moreno. I mean, I just think Unai Emery said, you know what, we need something different. They later scored when he changed things up. It was not an easy game against the Sean Dyche team because there definitely is someone that can be very physical. And so that's where the building up of the physicality for Leon is come. But Leon is fine. I think he's in the right spot. He's on the right manager. What will happen with Aston Villa in the summer is that I suspect that they will go out and try to shore up that midfield. Get somebody in that midfield to help Douglas Luiz who can protect those wingers more, who can move from side to side and cover, because Kamara seems to be struggling to do that job. So I think he's fine. I think he's doing fine. BM says Bailey's not a bad player. He's just inconsistent. Yes, so, I mean, players go through rough patches. But again, he was doing well so far this season under Unai. And, you know, if he keep contributing, he'll be fine. He keep contributing. I think the Gerrard system did not work well for him, and that's why Gerrard got on the road. It didn't work well for Gerrard either. But
I think the Gerrard requirements didn't work well for him.
Yes, the Gerrard requirements didn't work well for him. So, yeah. All right, taking a look at the EPL table, Junior. This is how things stand up in the EPL table. Arsenal continues to lead this table, Junior. I mean, this team is looking more and more like champions every week, family.
And a third of the season left to go. Yeah, I think when you face adversity and you figure it out, you come out stronger, right? Yes. And I think that is what they're facing right now. So definitely it speaks well for Arsenal.
Leeds 1 point above the relegation zone. Everton, Bournemouth, and Southampton sitting in the relegation zone. Leeds hired Javi Garcia. Leeds victorious against Southampton this weekend. Junior, is this a right appointment? Do you agree with this appointment for Javi Garcia?
No, because
so you would have gone back to El Loco.
Is it the same system and run? So, what this speaks to more is the community affecting football and the players that are bought into the community, right? You can change a coach and bring a different voice in, and that voice will give a little lift. But the community is also giving them a lift, in my opinion, because it's the same thing we saw the year before Jesse March, right? Yeah. Come in and save them from relegation. Look at him now. So I think this is a real yo-yo side.
Yeah, we have to watch the space. Mid-table Chelsea sitting on 31 points, at 10 possession, tied on points with Aston Villa, separated by goal difference. Both teams with minus goal difference. Chelsea -2. Aston Villa -4. Anything you want to highlight from the table? Newcastle, Spurs, 4 points ahead of Newcastle, 2 games ahead of them though in the 4th spot.
We see Brentford get unbeaten. We see Brighton lose them whole coach and the whole side. We see Fulham go through so much injuries, right?
Yeah. And
Chelsea still a walla below them with 3 times at them salary. No, man, that's madness, man. Yeah, foolishness.
Even with the struggles that Fulham, even with the struggles that Liverpool has gone through,
Yeah.
and is going through. They're still above Chelsea.
Graham Potter left him side. Forgot chase him side. It don't make no sense to me, man.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all, family. All right, moving away from the EPL roundup, family. To taking a look at some other scores. Champions League first leg concluded this week. Junior, the pick of the game though was this Liverpool versus Real Madrid game. Well, Real Madrid is just a different animal. Your thoughts on the game ended up 5-2 for Real Madrid. But your final analysis, now that you've had a few days to think about it.
I think the pick of the game was really Bayern versus PSG, to be honest. But I said last week, this Liverpool-Real Madrid tie was going to be one of the best Champions League ties we have in years. I said last week this was Liverpool's last stand to win something of significance this year, right?
Yes.
And when the game started, and I think Nunes was the one who scored first, or the Gakpo. Nunes. With the back heel, I believe.
Yes, with the flip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful goal. Big up to
beautiful goal.
Yeah.
Beautiful goal. And then Courtois had the Chelsea Courtois moment.
Yes.
I sit on there and say, wait a minute. This is what I expected for Liverpool, blah, 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 blah. And as soon as Carlo get a chance to circle the man, them and say, yo, easy ride, man. Look at the explosion. So we say it all the time, Liverpool plays one way. If you cannot play above Liverpool's quality, they're going to run off the field. If you can go above Liverpool, you'll easily beat Liverpool. And that's what happened. Real Madrid took a couple gears, want them stretch them legs. They took a couple gears up. There was no big adjustment, no big change, no nothing. It's just play more aggressive. And the game was over.
Milan defeated Tottenham 1-0. Paris down 1-0 to Bayern Munich. Benfica defeated Club Brugge 2-0. Dortmund defeated Chelsea 1-0. Liverpool lost to Real Madrid. Napoli defeated Frankfurt 2-0. Victor Osimhen again scoring. Man City and Leipzig drew 1-1. And Inter, the big man himself, Romelu Lukaku scored for Inter. Inter defeated Porto 1-0 in the first legs encounters in the Champions League round of 16. Junior, halfway point in these ties. Your thing that you're looking for. I mean, PSG have to figure out a way to come back in this thing.
Yes, PSG have to figure out a way because I think this is their last year. I think Man City have to figure out a way to overtake RB Leipzig. Can't play around with it. This is also their last year. We have no idea what the sanctions are going to be for financial fair play. So go out there and get it done this year, right? So that's what kind of disappointed to me for RSB and for Paris, for PSG.
Yeah.
Is you don't go out there and play your last straw. You don't go out there and play with a sense of urgency. You don't go out there and play with a sense of, yo, we need this win. We need it. You see how Liverpool started against Real Madrid? I expected PSG to come out the same way. I expected Man City to come out the same way. And the brothers come out and like, it's a regular day. If we lose, we can't do it again next year. There's no next year.
Yeah, the urgency. Speaking of Liverpool versus Real Madrid, Carlo, the boss, Ancelotti, sub David Alba and put on Nacho. And Jurgen Klopp highlighted this substitution. He said Nacho was huge in the fact that he made their lives much more difficult, to paraphrase. Camavinga sitting in the hole. Your thoughts on those two players, Junior? Camavinga and Nacho coming on for David Alba.
They overran the midfield, right? Let's completely change the midfield, but we cannot talk about, all right. What I think it did is that it gave Modric more freedom, right? Because to me, Modric played like he was 25 years old for the whole game. But then it got a little bit easier for him when Camavinga sat at the base. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with Klopp. I think that's an excuse. I just think that your Liverpool was just, I mean, your midfield was just trash.
Yeah.
It was just trash.
Got overrun. All right, we're gonna move away from European club football in a second, but we have to just highlight the Europa League round of 16 junior kicking a schedule. Manchester United versus Real Betis, Juventus, Arsenal, Roma will spare Real Sociedad, Leverkusen. Junior, your thoughts on this draw, family? And I mean, Juventus is looking good. They're playing some good football. Big up to Maximiliano Allegri and Juventus. But you know, how are you feeling as Manchester United people over there? So?
I think this is a trophy that Manchester United should target and can possibly win, right?
Yeah.
I think Arsenal is going to be preoccupied with winning the Premier League. Juventus is a team. And Roma, any team, Jose Mourinho coach, and you get to quarterfinals, or you get to round of 16. From round of 16 on, you can't bet against Jose. He's going to become harder and harder and harder to beat, right? So there's a lot of landmines there. I expect Man U to go over Real Betis easy. Me expect Roma to win. I expect Juventus to win. I really can't see Arsenal dropping the ball against Sporting Lisbon. By a level QC, you never know.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel about it. I really feel like this is Juventus, Roma, and Manchester United trophies. I think Juventus and Roma probably going to want it more, especially Juventus, because with the points taken away, you can now get Champions League next year unless you win this cup, right?
Yeah.
So all your eggs are in this basket.
Yeah. Need to figure out a way. Sporting versus Arsenal, Union Berlin versus Union St. Gillois, Leverkusen versus Ferencvaros, Roma versus Real Sociedad, Shakhtar Donetsk versus Feyenoord, Man United, Real Betis, Juventus versus Freiburg, Sevilla versus Fenerbahce. Games March 16, Europa League round of 16. Big up to Union Berlin. Big up to Union Berlin. Doing a very good job in terms of doing well in the Bundesliga, pushing it on in this European tournament. So big up to Union Berlin. Coach Urs Fischer and Union Berlin. Before we move to discuss football in our own backyard, the final teams for the Women's World Cup Junior were set this week. Panama, Haiti, and Portugal booked their place. Now we have all 8 groups for the Women's World Cup is set. Junior, 6 CONCACAF teams on the plane. 6 CONCACAF teams on the plane to the FIFA Women's World Cup, kicking it off later on this year. Your thoughts, family?
I think that is a testament to Canada and the US, especially the US women's team, because they are perennially being two of the best teams in the world. Now, for the last couple of years, they have fallen back, right? But they have driven women's football in the region to a point where all of these non-traditional teams now can come out and say, yeah, we can do the same thing. We're playing against the best competition in the US women and Canada. We can get the confidence, right? I think that's a testament to them more than just the CONCACAF teams. I think they have set the benchmark, set the high water mark, and the other countries have stepped up to the plate and said, we are here as well.
Yeah. Group A, New Zealand, Norway, Philippines, Switzerland. Group B, Australia, Republic of Ireland, Nigeria. Big up to the Super Eagles. Canada, the first CONCACAF team, will be in Group B. Group C, Spain, Costa Rica, Zambia. Big up Zambia and Japan. Always looking forward to see the Japanese team play. Group D, England, Junior's first love. Haiti, Denmark, China's Republic, or People's Republic of China. Group E, USA, Vietnam, Netherlands, and Portugal. Hopefully USA take it easy on the Vietnamese team there. Group F, France, Jamaica, aka the Reggae Girls, Brazil, Panama. Group G, Sweden, South Africa, Italy, Argentina. Group H, Germany, Morocco, Colombia, Korea Republic. Big up to Morocco. Getting in as the game expand. But Junior, more specifically now for the Reggae Girls, we know our group. We know all the teams. Panama joins, round out the group. France, Brazil, Jamaica. Your thoughts, family?
Power.
yo, the one, the
Reggae Girls. Listen to it.
Reggae Girls schedule.
I said last year. Yeah, go ahead.
Reggae Girls schedule France. We play France on July 23rd. Then on the 29th, July 29th, we'll take on Panama, wrap up our tournament on August 2nd against Big Bad Brazil family. Do you care to chime in now on the Reggae Girls in this group family? What is the expectation for this World Cup, or it's too early to really get into the meat and bone?
What my expectation of the World Cup is that for the Jamaican women's national soccer team to go out there and represent the country to the best of their ability, and to continue to grow the interest in young girls to want to come out there and play football. That's my only expectation. Panama, we should beat Panama. You're not beating France. And I'm sorry, but Pia, Son Hagar, Son Hege, whatever she want to name, once she took up Brazil, I tell you no, she is building a World Cup champion. I'm not going to change my mind. So we'll take 3 points and go out there and play expansive football, look well, play competitive, and come out and grow our team pool and grow the game at home. That is our goal, nothing else.
Nothing else. Yes, nothing else. Just continue to build, continue to grow. I think ultimately for the Reggae Girls and the Reggae Girls and Jamaican women's football, qualifying for World Cups should become a habit out of this region. Try to build a fortress at home and on the road, being able to win games at home in these World Cup qualifiers. For this tournament, just compete. Compete, whatever happens, whether you get butter bruise or not, just compete. You see me I deal with, that's the bottom line. And for future teams is to build something so you can know that you can, look at the Japanese men from 98. They made going to the World Cup a regular thing, a regular part of their structure. And subsequently, no, they are a competitor at the World Cup. So that's a benchmark for the Reggae Girls. Just build, and just continue to compete. Before we move away from the Women's World Cup action, Junior, I want to get your thoughts on this news that broke this week. A French captain, former French captain, to put it specific correctly, Wendy Renard stepped away from the World Cup. She said to protect her mental health. There's been a long-running, seems to be dispute between Wendy and the coach. She says, my heart, quote, my heart is suffering. Quote, I cannot no longer support the current system, end quote. Other teammates that followed, Marie Antoinette Katoto and Kedida and Diato Diani, also stepped away from the French team. And the general idea is that as long as Karine Diacre is coaching this team, these ladies will not suit them up, family. It's just like another day in a French football.
I'm curious. What did they come up with any specifics, or is it just that we have a private issue with the coach and stepping away because I'm curious to know because for a captain, a 32-year-old captain, this is probably your last World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Probably. But at 36, you can still be a player, but I think this is the end of your prime years. For you to give up this opportunity, that is a huge decision, you know.
Yes.
So I am curious to know what really is going on. Or to play devil's advocate, do you think that she's drawing a line in the sand and is looking at the Football Federation and saying, you make a choice, coach or us?
Yeah, and the other players have criticized the coach. There's been issues with the coach in the past, brought to the fore by other players. But I don't know exactly what are the details. We don't have all the facts with this one. I mean, and so one expected Wendy to be there, but as the demeanor and what I've heard, Corrine, how the way Corrine, the manager manages her team, I think she won't lose a sweat. She will just like next. That's the way she's kind of managed things. She stripped her of the captain in a few years ago, and I mean, she's a cool manager to put it bluntly. I mean, she not in no friend thing with nobody. And not that she's obligated to do that, but the way she manages players is being criticized by other teams, the other players. The French Federation, the French Federation did release a statement, says, quote, the FFF has taken note of the declarations of Renard, Diani, and Kototo. Its executive committee, which will meet on the 28th of February, will address the issue on that occasion. The FFF would like to remind that no individual is above the Equipe de France institution.
But you see that statement, no?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, not you, but people are so quick to say the Federation might be turning against Reynard, right?
Yeah, but...
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Because then... Maybe one would say if the individual, because a long time them are complaining, it's been a while since players have been complaining about the manager.
Exactly. So that, yep.
So I don't know. So we'll keep the family updated and give the family update. We expect to hear something from them after this executive committee meeting on February 20th. This is a good thing for the reggae girls. Keep France in turmoil. You know what? let the players retire and don't show up, because then increase our chances to actually pull one or get something from that game in the World Cup. So, but we'll watch that space, family. We'll watch that space.
Yeah.
MLS scores, family. We want to take a look at MLS score. MLS weekend kicked off. MLS football kicked off this weekend. 29 teams as new team St. Louis bowed into action or stepped into action. They defeated Austin FC 3-2. Jamaica's Javian Brown scored for Vancouver. They lost that game 2-1. Big up to Minnesota United FC and Taxi. Taxi still out the road. They won 1-0. Junior, what you looking for? There's a game tonight and game tomorrow. Seattle versus Colorado later on tonight. Early one for the MLS.
Early one. We'd have started about MLS till Memorial Weekend. To be honest though, I'm curious to see the continued growth of MLS, right? And the growth of the football itself. Because what we have seen now is the designated player has gotten younger and younger and younger and younger. So what I'm looking forward to know is how the football continues to grow in the States, especially with the US hosting the next World Cup. Watch the space for how MLS does their marketing and how the MLS does their preparation of their leagues, because that's going to be big for them. So that's what I'm looking forward to this year in the MLS is the growth of the football. Because the football has gotten better.
Yes,
So let's see if it continues on that trajectory.
Scores, weekend results. Nashville defeated NYC, New York City FC 2-0. Atlanta, Big Bad Atlanta defeated San Jose 2-1. New England defeated Charlotte 1-0. Cincinnati defeated Houston 2-1. DC United, Junior's favorite coach, Pum Pum Shots wearing Wayne Rooney, and DC United defeated Toronto 3-2.
Come on side.
Come on side. And Junior Christian Benteke was on the score sheet along with the man Mr. Klitsch from Matthias Klitsch from Leeds. So I don't know. Maybe Wayne Rooney is building something there in DC.
Relax.
Yeah?
Relax.
Relax. Man, and of course, Ravel Morrison. There's an issue going on with Ravel and DC United. I don't know what exactly. I need to pull up. What was the latest message on that?
I don't know enough. I don't know. Look. I don't know. We can't really explain Rafael, to be honest. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. Why you want me to say that? I don't know.
Let me find the message that was posted.
Ravel Morrison is no longer in DC United's plan. And blah blah blah. That's the message that was posted.
It says, quote from Stephen Goff, Soccer Insider says, Ravel Morrison update per club sources. He's not in DC United's plans. Won't be on MLS roster this season. Ineligible to play. Remains on payroll. With guaranteed deal. Can continue to train. What's next? Trade, transfer, or mutual termination of contract? Why would I mutually terminate contract when I still get paid, brother?
True. But then you hope you're forward in good faith. and the mutual agreement is just a buyout.
Yeah, so yes, BM. Yeah, Ravel is not in DC United's plan, as Junior said. And this is from Stephen Goff. But he will remain on the payroll and he will continue to train. I said loan him out to one of them Jamaican Premier League team there. Mount Pleasant could probably use him or one of them team there.
But will he forward?
Well, I mean, we have games to play this year, so you cannot just sit down. We as in the Reggaeboyz, you cannot just sit down and eat chocolate and just play a pickup ball. That not gonna work.
Oh, so you think Ravel is one of the first names on the score sheet, on the play sheet?
I suspect he will be.
We'll see.
I suspect. And speaking of which, we'll get to coach. We need to touch coach, the Jamaican Reggaeboyz coach statement and look of it. 2-0 Panama, Miami defeated Montreal. Orlando defeated New York 1-0. And the man himself, Mr. Scorer Burke, is with New York Red Bulls this year, Junior's favorite striker. Philadelphia Union defeated Columbus Crew 4-1. Damian Lowe is with Philadelphia Union. Of course, St. Louis defeated Austin. Minnesota defeated Dallas. Vancouver lost to Salt Lake. And Seattle will play later on. Seattle will play Colorado later on, family. BM says, if DC still paying his salary, can he go and stay in shape?
That's I know because of the labor laws in the United States. I think that statement from DC is such a liar written statement that legally them can't run him where. They would love for him to just leave, but legally them can't turn off his key card. So you can forward if you want forward, but nobody here likes you, nobody here wants you anymore. Just go away, go to hell. That is all that statement is really.
Well, so that's and that's the junior translation of Stephen Goff's statement, not Ballchat. But something is not right. He's not in the plans, and it's you know, and so we watch the space. But like you said, I mean, I think he can just go play a Jamaican Premier League and get some shape and get in shape.
No, the Jamaican Premier League is used to get in shape now. Okay.
Well, I mean, for Ravel, as opposed to not playing ball, Junior, it's better than, you know. All right, coach of the Reggaeboyz, Mr. Hamir Grimmison did a presser recently, this week to be exact. He said that, you know, we need to invest in the infrastructure to really kind of develop the sport. I mean, Junior, these are nothing new.
That's just a broken record, and you know, we're not gonna bash JFF because let me just put it for all the people who ever snipped and sent people what me say and say, yo, this brother disgusting and rare. Snip the party and send to. We would love JFF to come on the show in a banter-less conversation, right? So we don't kill JFF. So at some point, the man them must used to hearing that. Like, if I was the president of JFF, I'll be tired of hearing my coach or me just hire all the time. The first thing every coach come in and says, yo, we need to put money into the infrastructure. Like, dude, we've heard that before. Move on. It not happen.
Yeah, but I mean, he was asked. He's been traveling around the island and watching games on, I guess, somewhat of a recruiting tour, seeing players here and there. And of course, in reviewing our viewing players, he's seeing the infrastructure, he's seeing fields like how common and them things there. So, I mean, at the end of the year. No, he did downplay the win now narrative.
As he should.
Do you have a problem with that?
Hell no. What we know? All right. What's the definition?
Why is he hired? Why does he have a job? Is it not to win now?
It is to build a program. Is Jamaica all right? The question, the real question to me is Jamaica football, men's football, built in a way right now that all they are missing is the right coach? No. And okay, so how can we be talking about win now when we don't even have a team that can win? So I get the angst. I feel the angst. I feel the sting or the burn from what he said because I am a fan of the Jamaica football team. I think the better answer would have been, we are going to go out there and we're trying to build a state where we are better than the teams, that we can prove that we are better than the teams that we are better than on paper, but also get to a state where we are more competitive against the better teams, right? That to me is the same thing as, we're not in the win now thing. It's the same, but it's that different kind of feeling, right? I would have preferred that, to be honest.
He says, in February, I've been focusing on the domestic league and the domestic players, trying to learn the football culture in Jamaica, watching training sessions, talking to coaches and owners. Maybe in 1 week, I'll need to start to watch the players playing abroad because it takes a lot of time to do as well. So, brother, I'm a recruiter. I mean, isn't this the responsibility of the technical staff?
Isn't he the technical staff? Isn't he the head of the technical staff? So I mean, that should be encouraging, though, that he wants to see it instead of trusting a yes man. Right? Shouldn't that be more encouraging?
Yeah,
that he wants to see the players?
It is encouraging that he's going out and viewing players, but I mean, all right. The objective also, the idea also is that his time is very limited because he has tournaments that we need to prepare for. Right. And you need to view the opponents. You need to get scouting materials together for the opponents, match plans, training camp schedule getting ready. So, how many players do you need to go watch in this league? We have 2 games coming up against Trinidad and Tobago, March 11th and 14th. How many? He says that I've gone around, I've watched the domestic players, and maybe in a week or so, I'll start watching the international players. I mean, he needs assistants or somebody else to do this job.
And you really believe those words from him are true, 100% true.
Well, I can only tell the man at his word, brother.
True, that's true, but we know better than that, right? So now, why would he keep that information to himself? If somebody was to ask me that question, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know why he would keep that. So, assuming that he is correct, right? Yes. Let's assume that what he says is true. When was he hired again?
It's 2 months in, Junior.
Right. So that's 8 weeks, right? And the foreign players are playing in their domestic leagues, right?
Yeah.
So why are you going to wait until now to start watching them? You should have already been watching them. Them already are playing. Is the JPL just start playing? Unless I never want to do this. But
don't do it.
You forced me down this road. You know who is foreign players in that statement?
Oh,
MLS. Because they just started.
Okay, so MLS. Okay.
So foreign players is not the English-based players. So don't expect the UB40s to come forward for Trinidad. Don't expect the UB40s to come forward for Gold Cup, probably, right? As he is building, he's building his thing right now, right?
Yeah.
So because it should have been, I'm already watching Pinnock. I'm already watching my boy at Fulham, Bobby Reid.
Bobby Reid, yeah. Bobby the
Yo, Mahav Peacock.
Daniel Johnson and them.
Daniel Johnson, but watching them. Yeah, no, it is the leagues that are just starting now. So yes, I'm expecting a heavy MLS and USL roster. I'm expecting.
BM says, I predict Hal Grimson won't last very long. I think the JFF hired him for optics. Remember, election is this year. And we need to line up President Ricketts on the show because we need to talk about this election thing. He also said, BM also said, Hal Grimson will get frustrated and leave, especially if the results are poor from upcoming games. I tend to be an optimist, and I'm going to look at this thing optimistically and hope for the best. Coach Hal Grimson also said at the presser or in the interview, he also said, he says we have Trinidad on March 11th and March 14th. That is good preparation. That match will feature players from the domestic league. Then we have the game in Mexico at the end of March, and there we will have the ability to bring in all the players that we want because that's a FIFA window. When we have a game against Guatemala in early April, where we can hopefully get some of the players in the U.S. that were not in the Mexico squad. So the purpose of this is to try to give as many players as possible a chance to play so we can have the best squad possible for the Gold Cup in the summer. And I want to reiterate again, so make sure I didn't miss anything. The quote, he says, we play Trinidad and Tobago on the 11th of March and the 14th. That is a good preparation. I think that match will feature players from the domestic league. Then we have the game in Mexico at the end of March, and there we'll have the ability to bring in all the players that we want because that's a FIFA window. We then have a game against Guatemala in early April where we can hopefully get some of the players in the U.S. that were not in the Mexico squad. The purpose of all of this is to give as many players as possible a chance to play so we can have the best squad in the Gold Cup this summer. The Gold Cup is scheduled for June 24 to July 16, family.
Yep.
I mean, it sounds like a plan. They do have a plan, Junior. So we'll get ready for this March 6 games March 11th and March 14 games, and then we'll then just look at, it's just gonna be domestic players or local players. So then we'll build from there. So.
Right. And it's a good plan.
Well, it's not a good plan until it no work.
But it sound easily executable.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to bring in everybody at the first game. So I like it.
Yep. All right, family. Any final thoughts we want to say? And we want to also in Yard Ballers report. We want to, of course, big up Camon, who's away this week, who always bring us Yard Ballers report. Blair Torgut picked up an injury, and he's probably going to be out for the season. So picked up a nasty injury playing in Scandinavia. So big up Blair. Hope you get well, family. Big up Blair Torgut, of course, turned out for the Reggaeboyz last year and did quite well, but then somebody else not call him back, so we don't know how that go already.
Yeah.
Any final comments before we go my yard, family?
No, other than you big up, you said what BM said. Other than no, I'm gonna stay out of it. But I keep Ballchat out of it. I keep Ballchat out of it. We're looking forward to this summer. This summer is going to be a very interesting summer. I think this summer is going to be a watch-along filled summer. So I look forward to it from now in February going to March. Right now, we just a scapegoat. I was about to enter Pasa Arena. I believe it alone.
Yeah, we don't want to bother. No, we don't bother with that. We have to stay wide. We have to stay wide of that. Big up to all the YouTube channels and all the YouTube and the content producers. Big up to all of the ballers them. Big up them, big up to all the players. Big up to Bunny Shaw for score 4 goals. Big up Bunny. Big up yourself. Football family, thank you for joining us. You can connect with us on Facebook at Ballchat. We're on Twitter at Ballchat1. We're on Instagram at Ballchat Podcast. You can email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. Check out Junior Need to Put Up, the engineer, aka Need to Put Up, also in Captain Series on our outro flyer. Big up yourself, engineer.
Yo, for real.
Yeah, man. Big up to all the listeners. Remember, consider subscribing to the channel. The podcast version of the show will be available in a few. Look more in a family. Bless up yourself.
Laters.